And so in classic masking fashion, not only as a neurodivergent person, but as a neurodivergent black man, I try my very best to swallow this shit, but it felt like 1,000 frogs trying to jump out of my throat, right? When I was trying to swallow this shit for the sake of my survival, right? For the sake of maintaining my position after just experiencing a year of homelessness, right? My first job that I've had in a year, I'm like, yo, I can't compromise this. Look at even that alone, right? Look at that alone. This is what black people have to do time and time again in a lot of workspaces that for some reason are oftentimes inherently casually racist for no reason. We are often positioned to do all the emotional and psychological labor of trying to self-regulate in a hostile environment that is not doing the same for us. And especially those of us who come from poverty, right? We have to constantly weigh in on whether or not, should I speak about this racism or should I just like take it to the chin in order to feed my kids at home, in order to pay my bills, in order to pay my car note, in order to fulfill my dreams? We shouldn't have to do that. Environments should just be able to practice some form of discipline around not being fucking racist. I think that's not too much to ask. And the issue with this place at the time is that they would say things like, we stand to dismantle and eliminate racism and bias. And what people don't understand and white policymakers don't understand is that when you speak like this, you sound to black people like you weren't invited to the cookout. And the cultural significance around the cookout implies a great deal of safety. When you are invited to the cookout in our culture, it means we feel safe around you. No matter who you are, what creed, culture, whatever color you are, and where you come from, that is a sign that we feel safe. You're invited to the cookout, fam? Hey, yo, come through, dog. Come through, fam. Get yourself a plate, my nigga. You good. Yo, you hungry? Because if you were invited to the cookout, you're not going to use words like diversity, equity, and inclusion. White people use these words to feel good about themselves and their white fragility, right? It comes from a certain sense of performity, right? Because it's often not followed with conduct. And what you fail to realize is that it's not about eliminating bias at all, right? It's about recognizing that it's there, because you can't eliminate bias. You can only study it or use it as an object of study to learn from, right? But you can't eliminate bias. It's a part of our evolutionary story as a species, right? We need bias in order to survive, right? If you're out there on a hunt in a jungle, right, you're going to develop a bias against tigers, right? So that way when a tiger comes next time, you have data that says, this bias taught me this Kellogg's Frosted Flakes looking ass nigga might actually tear through my throat with his teeth. The only time bias isn't good is when it's been tainted by social constructs and practices that are inherently inhumane and destructive to us all.